Well, this video, we rebuilt the second part of the steps. This whole porch project is actually 4 videos. The porch, the first set of steps, second pair of steps, and then we did the stone stoop on top. So there's 4 videos. I'll show it to you at the end of the video. But the owner ripped this all off. You got to go looking for a brick because you can't match the old ones. And we redid it, so I'm going to show you how we did it. Well, we're continuing on with rebuilding the brick steps. We did this, and then we kind of switched over here and started this. This is a different video. We had to do this because we got to come in and go over here with the brick with the steps. So I looked at the pictures from the last thing, and we're going to continue the steps. So before I start, I laid this all out dry. Every stone gets with the brick, and then I know where my stone goes. You don't start anything with rollers, you lay it out dry. So now I'm going to put this bottom in, and we're going to use some old brick. So I'm going to fill this in with junk first. You gotta come up to this height. So it doesn't matter what I fill it in with. Using junk brick, the old school stuff, which stays apart. The new school stuff with the holes in it falls apart. That's what we're doing. I'm gonna fill this in so no water lays down there. So here's what's going on. I'm keeping the steps level. I don't want the water going out over the thing. I want them coming down this way and then that way. I don't want the water going over the brick no more. So I got these laid out. If you notice, they're all different types of brick. Because when you're doing brickwork, it's just like a style from the 60s or something. 60s bricks is different than 70s brick. At one time they were all the same, but not no more. I could use a line here, but it's not that big. Let me just use the level here. Make a big deal out of it. Just make everything work. That's all. In behind there. We don't want the water getting in there. Comprende? Bricks with holes in them. Oh good. You can't buy them without them anymore. Okay, second course. Basically the same thing. In there. No big deal. All it is brickwork. Cement goes on the bottom, the brick goes in between. So I have my first course on, and this is where my stone's gonna lay. And then I come up here, that's my second course, and then I go up there, it's the third course. Now I gotta do it so I tie it in to this brickwork. And so we're going to lay a course now going through that way. So I got my first course in, I put the junk brick in, got it all measured out. I know that fits. I'm working in here, now I got to go from here to there and put that in. So I'm putting my second course in. Then I'm just shooting by the hip here. I have to hit heights. Ain't no big deal. All these bricks are different sizes too, right? You went down. How many brick yards did you go to find this?
4 brick yards to find it.
You had to go down to Jersey to get it, right?
They're not made anymore.
That's what they do. Hammer. stone. See that? Got some stone laying around here. Fill that all in there. Stone's a lot better than any brick. We could fill that up.
Just too big yet?
I don't know yet. And then your stone's going to go right over the top like that. See? Okay, start laying brick here because they got to come right around into here. And I got to match the heights. So that's what I'm doing now, going from there into here. Got to continue on right here, and isn't it nice? You don't have to mix the cement on this job. Did you bring a hoe?
No, I left her at home.
Oh, I get it. We'll go right across here. Okay, I'm continuing on, and you can see how I got to do it with my steps. But I got to go over from that side, right over and around. So that's what I'm doing now. Well, if you're watching me, right, I'm using the old bricks. These are old bricks. See them? It's got that old lime mortar that falls apart. That's why it was so easy to get these bricks off. Now, see it? How easy it is? Now today's bricks though, they put the holes in them, the holes filled with water, the bricks fall apart. These old ones, you could use them for another 100 years. Things are better when they were worse. Okay, so now we're going to start laying our threads. Those are laid, and we've got to lay them all in here. This we're kind of working on now, that's the patio top. So we're going to lay this first step. Then I'm going to go between them all.
A little bit of paint. I'll take it over here. Okay.
Kind of know where this got to go, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, Bob, here's the thing you're
Yes,
gonna...
sir. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You used to work for a legal firm, didn't you?
Yep, I worked for a legal firm for about a year.
Well, how much do you charge for 3 questions?
$400.
It's an awful lot of money, isn't it?
Yes, it is. What's your third question? So we're ending up here, just tucking it in. Some guys call it tucking. Some guys call it pointing. Let's get it in there like that. No big deal. Shouldn't use my hands. I usually got my gloves in there. Good. Good. So now, just get the sponge, you wring it out. Like that. Make sure it's wrung out. This one's level. This one got a pitch on it because I want the water to flow off. But this is like a planter top. That's it. We'll check that later. And we keep pointing this up. This is pretty dry, so not making the brick bad. I'm gonna keep it a little up anyway. Now, we just got our all done, so we're just going to go over this with the sponge. Take this all down. You got to dip your sponge in the water, make sure you wring it out so it ain't wet, and then just go over it. You see a little dirty spot on the brick, depending on the brick. And I say that sincerely, depending on the brick. These ain't as bad as I thought, so I'm not worried about them. slide it in.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, we got our second set of steps in. Traditional. If you look over there, if you could see it, there's a chalk line, a blue chalk line. So when I was putting those steps in, I went even with the chalk line from the top. Well, let's go from the top and look down. Because what we're trying to do is get everything even. See that? How it evens all out? That's what you're trying to do, get everything even so it's not a tripping hazard. If you can get within 90%, that's pretty good. Okay, we come back a little while later, about 3 months later, and looked at the project. That's it. I'm going to talk about that job a little bit. It's hard to match brick. Every year, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, they make different style bricks, and it's hard to match them. That guy had to run all over looking for them. You know, brickwork is actually disappearing in our area. There's a lot of repair work, but rarely you see anybody building out of brick anymore. When you do a job like that, you gotta lay it out dry. You just can't go with the rulers. I've seen so many mistakes, including myself, using rulers all the time. Lay it all out dry, make a pattern, and you won't make a mistake. I'm usually colorblind when it comes to colors, so when I do any kind of brick, I never go and pick the brick out for someone or give them a sample. I let them go down to the brickyard and look and see what they want and have it delivered and paid for it. Because if I do it, they'll get the brick and go, oh no, that's not the one I picked out. And even if I'm doing a stone job, and I just did that, I laid all the stone out that I had to put on a fireplace. And I said, is there any colors or anything that you see that you don't want? And sure enough, she picked 3 of them out and said, I don't want these. So you always do that, and then you won't get in trouble down the road. We didn't clean it. We didn't use an acid wash. Guy's an excavator. He just wanted to get it done. I had 3 other videos concerning that job. Brick steps repair part 10. That was the beginning of this one. Then there was brick wall repair, porch rebuild part 3, and concrete porch stoop part 4, stone redo. So that's it. A lot of different ways to rebuild a project and redo it. It's always food for thought in my videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike Haduck. I'll see you next video.